Starfield in 2026. All right, so if you've been thinking about playing Starfield, you probably already heard everything. The game is boring, it's empty, it's going crazy on PS5, it's crashing and stuff like that. But actually sitting down and playing the game again after the new update, I realized something very important. Most people aren't really telling you what the game actually feels like to play it. So in this video, what I'm going to do is tell you exactly what to expect and whether this is something you should try yourself or just skip completely. Now, like I said earlier, I do believe Starfield is only bad if you listen to people on the internet. But another factor that a lot of people don't consider when they talk about Starfield is that sometimes expectations can just be unrealistic. Now, let me preface this by saying that the basic expectations are valid. You expect the game to run like it's supposed to run. You expect it to play as it's supposed to play on a technical side. Now, obviously, something thrown together with no heart, no effort at all is not something that you have to sit there and suffer through for the sake of saying, hey man, I'm just gonna look at it for what it is. If something is bad, it's heartless, it seems like it really had nothing behind it, is not what I'm talking about here. But what I'm talking about is some games are just designed to be a certain way. They're designed to be a certain type of experience, and they may not line up with the experiences that other games that came out in the past may have provided. Now, can I honestly sit here and tell you that from my experience, I feel like the team at Bethesda, Todd and everybody sat down and tried to make the worst possible game that they possibly can? Absolutely not. That is not the feeling that I get from Starfield at all whatsoever. Now, I will also say at the same time, this game does not run perfectly. There are bugs and there are things that happen within this game that existed when the game first came out that still happen even now in 2026. When I get in the game, I still see the things happening, the weird stuff, the awkward stuff. It's all still there. Me personally, the bugs that I did encounter, they didn't really mess up my experience entirely. There are things like the game stuttering in the big cities, right? I'm playing on Series S, but I also play it on my PC, but I realize it more on my Series S that like when I go into a big city, like everything starts to stutter and it starts to hitch a lot and things like that. But on PC, it runs rather well. It's actually pretty fine when I play it on PC. I don't really have much issues there. I say that to say that the game is not perfect technically, but at the same time, it's not to the point where the game is unplayable, at least from my own experience. Another thing to know about Starfield is that it's its own thing. Starfield is just Starfield. It's not trying to be any of the other Bethesda games out there, because even though the idea of Skyrim in space is cool, I do think that Starfield in space is infinitely better. Because not to be facetious here, but if I wanted to play Skyrim, then I would just play Skyrim. I wouldn't want to come to Starfield and get Skyrim or get Elite Dangerous or get No Man's Sky. If those games exist and I can play them, I'll just play them. And I do feel like Starfield is its own experience. It's its own isolated thing. And I could jive with that. Now, I'll also say that while vanilla Starfield is a great experience, it's a really fun time, I got to give a shout out to the modders out there, because mods really make this game even better. It really adds a layer of fun and variety to the game that you just don't get with vanilla Starfield. Honestly, there are some really, really good mods out there that transform the game entirely, like Star Wars Genesis. If you're a Star Wars fan, that's something that I highly recommend. But not even just that. There's certain weapons that's added to the game, certain costumes, certain cosmetics that really change things up and really just make the experience even better than what it is in a vanilla state. So there's more than what's on the surface when it comes to Starfield, if you're really willing to open up and really explore the game and what it offers you. I just gotta say, starting off, fresh save, fresh start, it's really been hard for me to put Starfield down. Now, as far as the story within Starfield, I know that a lot of people say that the story is kind of weak. But when I look at Starfield and I really play this game, I realize that the story in this game isn't done the typical way. Most games, RPGs, you have a beginning, you have a middle, you have an end, and that is your tale. All laid out, easy to follow, and as you play and as you go, you just get more story. But I kind of feel like Starfield leans a little bit more into the Star Trek style of storytelling, where yes, everything is cohesive. Yes, everything works together. But you can look at each episode as its own self-contained story. And I feel the same way about the missions within Starfield. Yes, they are cohesive. Yes, they all line up together, but they're very, very episodic. When I'm playing through the UC storyline, that feels like its own self-contained thing within the world of Starfield. And I feel like as the player, I'm in the center of it all. So instead of them being hard and fast story beats, I do feel like each of the missions and each of the factions and the stories tied to them are a little bit more overarching and a little bit more set dressing. There's stories that really speak to that feeling that you're in the middle of it all. I'm able to go back and do other missions for the Vanguard and still feel like I'm still contributing to the overall cause. I don't know, maybe I have a higher level of imagination than a lot of people, but I'm able to still feel engaged with everything that's going on with the UC and everything that's happening in the universe, even long after the whole quest is finished. I do feel like the story missions that are there do a great job of grounding me into the universe of Starfield. And I look at them a little bit more like memories and things to recall back to as I complete other activities and do side quests or just explore out on my own. Now, since I've done a brand new save, I really haven't touched the Terra Armada stuff just yet because I didn't really want to rush into it. I want everything to happen as organically as possible. And the same thing with Shattered Space. I really haven't touched that yet either, but I want that to happen organically as well when I'm at the appropriate levels for these things. Now, as far as the Free Lanes update, giving you the ability to traverse the stars a little bit more, I'm really enjoying this, and I really think it was a good addition to the game, because one of the biggest gripes that I did have with Starfield was the lack of control when you were in space. Yes, you could be in space. Yes, you could fly around the orbit technically of the planet, but you really couldn't do much outside of that. Now, the Free Lane update is something that adds another level to that and gives a little bit more control, but I do think that it could be taken a step further. But being able to travel, being able to get up as the ship travels, walk around your ship and do whatever you have to do, that does really give the ship a little bit more agency and a little bit more of that homey feeling as you travel. So I've been really happy with that as well. But I urge anybody that's interested or curious about Starfield, or maybe if you even got turned off by stuff on social media around the game, which a lot of that is negative, I would just urge you to do this. Turn it off, shut it out, and play the game with an open mind. And I do believe that whatever that decision happens to be, whether you like it, whether you love it, whether you think it's mid, whether you hate it, whatever it is, it's all good, because at least it's your decision and it's not really guided by somebody else's take or somebody else's gripes or complaints. It's all based on you and what you actually feel. And I say this from experience because there has been a time, even with Starfield itself, I was enjoying Starfield when it first came out. I had no problems with it. Yes, it wasn't perfect. It had some problems, had some issues, but I was enjoying the game. And it was not until I started looking at reviews, I started going on the internet, I started paying attention to other people's takes on things, that I started to realize that the game had issues that weren't really apparent to me. I hate to say that ignorance is bliss, but I mean, if you're enjoying something and you spent your money on it, I guess that could be kind of valid, because it wasn't until those things were brought to my attention that I actually stopped liking Starfield. I stopped playing it because I started kind of like leaning into what other people were saying about it and the views that other people had surrounding the game that I was otherwise enjoying prior to even being exposed to any of that stuff. So if you're actively enjoying something, or if you want to actively enjoy something, sometimes it's best to not look at anything or listen to anything surrounding it and just play it for yourself and get your own experience and leave it at that. But with that said, here's a question to you. How are you liking Starfield? Have you actually tried Starfield? Are you interested? Are you not interested? Did it surprise you? Did it shock you? If you did try it, whatever it is, I'm always down to have conversations with you all. Thank you so much for chilling with me to the end of this video, and I'll see every last one of you in the next one. Peace.